Hey guys, just wanted to start my normal grind, but then I saw that 500 zoom runs and I thought it's a good time to make another video here because I think it's more interesting for you as the viewers. And at like the second hand, I already won a stack, so I can show you the replayer, what happened. Um, I opened cutoff pocket sixes and button rec cold cores. I mostly check here out of position in this kind of spots. So I check and he starts with a small bet where we have an easy core and bing, turn the set. Obviously 5-4 suited gets there as well, which you could have with the recreation and the big blind. But obviously we are not going anywhere. And he shoves the river as well after overbetting turn. And we snap call obviously and manage to find a bluff. Pretty nice start. Let's hope that it continues like this and that we get a lot of interesting spots. The pool doesn't look great. I mean, 500 zoom mostly doesn't look great. So we have like one recreation and one like guy which I think might be one, might also be a unknown rec. And yeah, the rest is like decent recs mostly. Or at least, let's put it that way, no pink labels, which you find more often on 200. I think this guy is free betting very little. Yeah, let's open. I mean, obviously the reg in the small blind will realize this as well, that we open wider. But we have a suited hand. And yeah, we wanna get into spots with the recreational. So far on my stats he's quite tight, so it's not like the typical loose aggressive um, recreational. But yeah, you can also obviously make money versus tight recreationals. Here was the min open, we core. And yeah, on this flop we just start with a check forward. Also, I've seen that my chest is running out because I'm normally not really grinding a lot on stars lately. Because, yeah, it's not too much action most of the time. So, yeah, with the early bird, like this is this green bird next to my avatar, I get on that one table 3 times rakeback. Which is then, yeah, obviously a nice boost for the win rate as well. Even in those ragish pools, you then could have small win rates, I think. Yeah, here versus him, we won't really free bet polarized, so we just end up calling king 9. And on flop, we just mostly just play our hand, so it's I have some stats on him on some hands. I guess on flop we can do whatever. Um, yeah, I guess I start with a check because my hand can't really play get free streets anyways, and he might then start over bluffing on turn. And now on turn I think we mostly have the best hand, so guess I bet something where I think he will still call his like gut shots when he has ace 10 or something. And also some weaker pocket pairs, maybe so. Here, same thing, we kinda wanna get into the bot with him. So we core. And here versus the rec, we do play polarized free betting range, and I roll low with ace 6, which gets in there then for some frequency. Table 1 here versus my good study mate. Just then mostly nice because you know his strategy and he, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I won't say it in the video now, but I will for sure check back on flop. And if he does something on turn here, we are just out. And I think if he checks, pocket sixes is still. I mean, I have all the pocket pairs down to deuces. They will get in there on those kind of boards with some bluffs, because when we bet turn and, for example, a jack or a 10 rolls up, we still need some bluffs, and then you often take those low pocket pairs for doing such kind of plays. Here is king. It's a pure free bet, obviously. And this guy, where, yeah, I'm not sure. I have only a few hands. I'm not sure if he's a recreational. Um, yeah, I guess I check my ace high. King 10 here, mostly calling. I roll 74, so I call. Another great flop. And now once he checks twice, I don't think I have much showdown with my ace high here. He looks also like I'm on the tighter side. I roll 95 here on table 2, that's why I call. Otherwise you will also... I started this spot actually exactly with him lately. Um, so yeah, you find a lot of raises on those paired king export blind versus blind versus a small bet. And now it's not great, mostly bluffing on 4 card straight boards versus recreationals, but still I will go for it again with my read that he might be uh, overfolding. And table 2 now, I wonder what my best sizing is. Unfortunately, no time really. That's why I just bet 75. Should be okay. Um, and here it's close. Let's look at the big blinds. Yeah, I fold this time. And yeah, my hand um, on table 2 is still strong enough to value bet, I think. So he has many, although yeah, we split versus king x, but still he can um, bluff catch with some queen x, I think. Might be maybe closer than I think. Because obviously also rivers or the queen high flushes, but because first I thought that king 10 here beats the other king x, but yeah, our kicker doesn't play here with the queen and the jack. Um, Here on table 1 we are already allowed to fold some. Oh, sorry, give me a second, I freebet here. We are already allowed to fold some second pairs here. I roll 90. Um, but holding the queen club, I think we still press call and fold other queen x. Here, as I said in the last video, the queen high boards are pretty good for the preflop aggressor. So for this sizing, you can like range bet them. Yeah, now on table 1, I don't have to call this hand anymore. Now on turn, honestly, hmm, I roll an 8 and okay, 5, 6 also gets there. Man, I have to concentrate a bit better. But sometimes you kinda, um, honestly, I'm not. I think that was a punt actually, yeah. But on some turns, you double barrel those kind of pocket pairs. Table 2 here we roll a 12, that's why I gonna 4-bet and call off. Because, um, yeah, to this hand, okay, sorry, I have to continue later with my explaining. Table 1 here, I play overbet or check. This hand will mainly check with very, very low frequency bets, I think. Here table 1 now, good board for our range. So yeah, can probably bet this for a high. I mean, those ace X boards are like not range bets a lot of the time, but although people mostly do them such range bets. Here use a very big sizing. He's pretty aggressive though as well. My free. I think for this I roll high. I think I for versus this sizing I can already afford some Ace-X. And here um start with a core. But to the pocket 8's hand is you get cored from hands like 7, 8 or 7, 6 and sometimes forward out hands like 9s or 10s already, so it's kinda a mergy bluffing. But I'm not sure if it's also here the case, so I gonna review this later, but this might be a punt. And now here on table 2, yeah, with our ace king, it's not great. I mean, it's okay, but we definitely can't get away here. I just wonder if I should re-raise here somewhere. I have to review this as well then. And here we roll 46, so I start with a bet, with a step. Now once he checks, we are hopefully in a good shape, and we're gonna value jam. Table 1 here, I just check, but I still think a bit to kind of balance my sizing. He could still have some worse ace-X, I guess, but mostly if he has an ace here, he just, yeah, goes broke. But yeah, a lot of spots, you definitely get way more into tougher decisions on 500 than on 200. Um, I rolled 22 here. I think I have to core this for some frequency, although the 10 of heart is not the greatest card because it could float some 10 heart backdoors, which are now forwards. But yeah, I think I still have to call it for this roll. Might also look it up. A lot of spots to look up. Might not be um, as long as my other videos, I think, because yeah, we can also talk more about hands, and we have more actions already than if I would play 200. I mean, that's also because we play a lot of four-handed, as you can see, because the pool is so small. Here on this kind of board, um, I play small bet, small sizing. I roll lowish, so this hand will get in there for this frequency for sure. With the 6 and the 4, it's probably not a range bet, but still, for a 25 sizing, a decent amount of betting going on here. And versus the raise, I mean, with a backdoor flush, it's obviously an easy call. I think it's also close like this. Um, yeah, versus a good opponent, I, I just folded here because I'm not sure if it's a continue or not. Um, yeah, 6-7 here I open because of the big blind. I mean, it's a frequency open anyways, but then I just do it pure. And then you have to kind of watch out to like not over defend with the free bet when I open much wider. Oh, he cold calls now. Um, yeah. Normally I would mix this versus a normal free bet. Now with this cold call from this very tight guy, I mean he could have a lot of hands like tens, jacks where we run pretty bad against. Yeah, I think I end up folding. Let's see what he has. Maybe we get a read on him. Here on table 1, those kind of boards are pretty high frequencies c-bets, especially if they're rainbow, you can probably just range bet them. So even on this two-tone, and this hand might check, is one of the hands which may check a bit more, but yeah, can't be too bad to sometimes bet it. And now on the 8 we will just check. If you haven't watched, or if you don't know this GW value down, GW value down, you can check it out. He's also making live Play&Explain. I said he's my study partner and pretty good player, so definitely worth watching out his channel. Um, Now interesting on the 8. I think with the ace, I will check this hand. Because he shouldn't really bluff an ace here. So again, I unblock, sorry, Queen 9 gets there, but still, yeah, with the nutted 8x, he also has hand like ace 9, 8 9. I go for the check raise. But what I wanted to say is like with the ace 8, I obviously unblock bluffs because he shouldn't bluff an ace, and unblock the 10 and check X, which I think bet again. And 8-4 here. Yeah, it's he plays a limping strat this rec it seems, so this hand is gonna be a mix. You mostly ISO a bit like you kind of ISO polarized, and if this hand would be maybe offsuit 8-4, then you can ISO because it doesn't hurt so much if you get free bet. With a backdoor hand, it's yeah, a bit annoying if you have to fold it. So mostly those hands are getting in a little less. And here, I mean, we have the backdoor flush draw, but I think without the backdoor straight draw as well, with 8 high, we can fold this already. So let's see what Felix called us with. Where we did 8-9. Um, Start with a check here. So he had maybe 8-9. Queen 8, okay. Yeah, unlucky for him. King Queen here, I think is a bit too. You can start value betting Ace-X here on this turn, but with King Queen, I think we have just have a check. Yeah, and now also same story. It's 2 weeks to value bet. Again, we could value bet some Ace-X, but here King Queen, I think is just a check, and might be a bluff catch sometimes. We'll see what he does. He pots it. As said, many Ace-X are already value betting. We roll high though. Yeah, I don't know how often I have to um sorry, how often I have to mark sorry, I have to mark this hand real quick. Sorry if my explaining process is a bit confusing today, but yeah, it's more action than usually and versus better players, so I have to concentrate a bit more than if I would make a video on 200. Here on table 2 where's the small sizing, we free bet way less, so I would just pure call this ace jack here. And I start with a call here on table 2. Here I open 8-6 off, as said, because this free bet is, the big blind is very tight. And he donks, so let's see. I mean, with our very nut low hand, normally I don't really fold like anything versus this line. But if I really have like nothing, if I would have a heart, I think I would do something, but really without a heart, I will just fold. And here on table 2, we roll 8, but yeah, we're not raising this hand, so we just press call again. And yeah, let's just wait a bit and then check. Although, yeah, I wouldn't have any donks here, really, so. So they basically can also check faster. Again, we face some hands I have on this guy. If, yeah, we face a very small bet, but checks is still. I think checks I will still pure free bet. And now here on table 2, um, yeah, end up folding. Table 1 here, small blind versus button, I would range bet this, small blind versus cutoff. But I rolled very low, so I think I will still bet checks here for this size. On the pair ring 7, we will check this hand. This hand blocks a lot of bluffs, which is a bit annoying, because he will obviously float hands like king jack clubs, king jack diamond, queen jack club, queen jack diamond, jack 10, diamond, jack 10 club, so it's not the greatest hand to bluff catch with. And now I wonder if my hand is strong enough to value bet. In those positions you should as well have some queens and obviously some ace-x. But because I, yeah, block so many bluffs, and because mostly I think those checking ranges are not really protected, I go for the value bet, because he still obviously has 10s, 9s, 8s as well. Some hands like 6-5, 5-4. So hands which he could potentially call this small bet with. But yeah, when we have so many hands, I wonder if I should do a small hand review after the video, or if I should make comments again. Um, I guess how long we are going for 22. I think we could sit out and then maybe just go quickly through the hands which we had. Queen 7 a bit too weak. Here versus the fish, I will free bet. Two hands against him. Yeah, I mean, I don't fold any hand. Yeah, basically any hand versus him versus this size, blind versus blind. Also, if this hand is pretty nut low. Again, he donks. Oh. I mean, I call one time, but on the ace X boards, recreations have so many ace X mostly because they overplay them pre. And yeah, so yeah, now I'm table 2. I will just fold this hand. I think it's pretty easy for it. He's pretty tight and already on flop. It's not great. So yeah, I have obviously infinite ace-x here as well to call with. So I am not afraid that the recreational exploits me there by overbluffing. Also, it's not really, if you think about, if you try to get into the recreational's head, it's not really a spot where he thinks it's nice to bluff, right? Because he also knows that I always have ace king on those kind of hands, and then I call a flop bet. So why would he bluff into such a range? I mean, obviously it's a recreational, but still he thinks about certain stuff. So pool looks actually. Sorry, I think my mic died again. Pool looks actually quite okay. That's why I wonder if I should continue playing. But if I wanna make the hand review in the end, yeah, let's sit out next big blind. I think we had so many interesting spots um, where I want to look into. I hope I don't punt. I haven't punted too much. I'm actually quite unsure about certain spots of those. So yeah, but then the chat pros will let me know anyways. Here I guess this is a mix. He looks. I mean, he's free betting quite a bit, but he uses a bit bigger sizing. That's why I fold. And here as well versus him, we are deeper. Normally I play 25, but here deeper I play 33 then and range bet this board. Um, Now on table 2, I think this hand is a mix on turn. I play 75 here. Again, might size up a bit, but this is already getting very close. So on most runouts I can't really triple this. And here the recreational court course. We are deeper. Question is, do I wanna flick in a 4-bet or call? Um, yeah, I think it's a decent hand to call with, like a suited hand. Maybe a hand like ace queen off, I would 4-bet, would prefer the 4-bet, and then call a bit more with those kind of hands. Although in theory, like if it would be a normal cutoff versus button spot, they both would be mixing. Yeah, but here on this flop, I have no interest with my hand to do something. Also, like the guy checks back on a king high board, which he knows is pretty good for his range. I mean, maybe he doesn't wanna like see that range with the small blind recreation involved, but and then he plays maybe more his hand. But yeah, it's definitely. I think he mostly has something if he checks here. Yeah, and that's it for now. And let's might get into some hands. Okay, guys, I finished looking at the close spots which we just had in the video. And as I said in the last hand review video as well, I wouldn't do those kind of studies if I would hand review normally. So right now we just go through the hands very quick and look at our exact hand if we played it correct or not. Otherwise, I would dive more into the spot and look at our whole range and at the sizings, at the frequencies, what our range does. So just as a uh, quick reminder that you shouldn't really study like this, but I've marked 9 hands which I want to go through real quick. So um, here we just look at our exact hand and see if we played it correctly, because otherwise the video would be way too long. So this hand, in this hand we defended queen jack off in the big blind with the button open, and we face an overbet. And I said in the video that we can obviously fold some second pairs here already, but with the club it's a bit too strong. And I had exactly the sims as well because it's the same strategy that I play overbet here. And there's overbet, as you can see, queen jack with the club has to defend. The other ones can fold already. And we already start folding some ace-X here, the weakest ones on flop. But yeah, queen jack, the call was correct. Second hand, we 3-bet pocket 8s here versus cutoff. Bet flop. And then I said in game that sometimes you find those kind of bets with the low pocket pairs. Reason behind it is we get calls from Wars because he has to call hands, yeah, like board pairs like 7-6 or 5-4, so those kind of hands, but fold some stronger hands already. So it's kind of a mergy bluff slash value bet. In game, I was then not sure if I punted here because 5-6 also gets there, which we don't really have. But yeah, I was kind of lucky, although I'm also kind of proud in finding this bet because I think it's far from intuitive to bet pocket 8s here again. Think that a lot of players might miss out on this bet. And as you can see on turn, exactly like pocket 8s bets, because yeah, it folds 9s, 10s, even checks out already, but gets called from hands like 7-6 and 5-4. So yeah, nice that I found this bet, I think. Next spot was yeah ace king, the 4-bet bot where our opponent min clicked the flop, and yeah, I will just show you the sim. I looked it up with GTO Wizard because I have like the min races here. So in position, we have a pretty high frequency c-bet here, and our opponent should raise a decent amount by only min clicking. So yeah, well played by him that he found this raise. And unfortunately, I didn't really in-game find the shove here with Ace King. So yeah, definitely something I can take away here that you, because I think the SBR is so low already that you just kind of fast play those hands. I mean, it's not a pure shove with every Ace King, but I didn't really roll for it in game. I mean, also the timing was pretty low, I think, but whatever, I don't want to take this as an excuse. So definitely something I can take away here. And after I called, he kinda min bet the river, the turn for something like 10% sizing. He should have shoves as well, but yeah, still the min bet kinda gets taken sometimes. And again, like we should with our remaining ace king shove quite a bunch. Again, I only called. Um, but yeah, river I think it's self-explaining. We obviously jam for value then. But yeah, for next time, I hope I think about this and just kinda because yeah, in game I thought I can also call this hand, and I mean, which is not wrong, but with with this low SPR and on a kind of drawy board, yeah, it also makes sense afterwards now after seeing it that shoving is a correct play. Next hand, here King 10, I defended blind versus blind, where we step flop, turn goes check check, and I was not sure if I have to call river here. In game I said I think it's a mix, and that was correct. So flop, as you can see, we step like yeah, lowish frequency. Turn was a pure check, and river facing the bet. Yeah, it's kind of a mix. I said in game the 10 of hearts is not great, which is correct because as you can see the combinations with 10 heart mix and the other ones like call more often, at least if they have a spade. So yeah, that was fine. Here was our mate, where's the check raise. I was not 100% sure if this is a fold. I mean with backdoor flush draw obviously a call, but without I I thought in game it might be close, but ended up folding. And so this was queen 6-4. Yeah, it should also like can also use a bigger checker size, but I didn't resolve it now. I think for this quick review it should be good enough like this. And as you can see, it's kind of close as ace 5, but mostly a fold. So yeah, that's fine as well. Ace 8 here again versus our mate. As I said in game, flop is on those kind of two high Broadway cards and one low. I have a very high c-bet frequency for this size, which we did. Then it went check check, and on river I was not really sure what's the correct play here. If you should bet, which sizing, if you should check, and then also like about the check raise. So let's see what Pio says to this hand. Yeah, check 10. So as you can see, it's basically a range bet. Ace 8 goes into as well. Turn was a pure check, and on river, I said in game that I kind of want to check with the ace. I wonder, yeah, okay, he should not really reopen the action with those 10x hands, even some check behind. So I thought that in reality people will bet those kind of hands, so that's why I checked. But seeing this, then it makes obviously sense to bet ourselves because we don't get more value from all those like check and 10x, which now check. I mean, it's still betting, checking a bit, but yeah. Although with my combination, I think it's pure betting, so this is a bit of a mistake. But I think in reality, it's a better check than here in Solverland. Because I said I know my mate, and I'm pretty sure he might go a bit thinner here versus me than Sora would do. And versus the bet, um, yeah, it's sorry, ace eight. Um, Here we don't have our combinations anymore, but yeah, I think the real race is not the most interesting part. Then it's more if we should check or bet ourselves is the closer thing. And let's see if he should core. Did he have a club? Let's see. Without club, it's pretty close. With club, it's getting more of a core. So here in this sim, it's a heart. He had no heart, but I guess he didn't want to get bluffed by me. Yeah. So um, shout out to him. Here in this hand, it checked down the river, and I was not sure if I have to bluff catch this hand sometimes. I said I have some ace-x as well, but some of them value bet as well on earlier streets. And Sorva said, interesting was that King Queen bets on turn if it has like, I mean, interesting. It's maybe not that unintuitive, but if we have a kind of flush draw blocker, we bet, get some ace-x out already, get some war hands to core. Yeah, this kind of mergey thing again. And on river, it's a pure check, and versus the bet, I can fold King Queen. Yeah, I have enough ace-x in this line to core. So yeah, I think I folded in game as well. It's good. Here with checks in this 3-bet pot, we start with a small c-bet, turn went check check, and I was unsure if I can value bet river because it's kind of it's pretty thin, not kind of thin. And I have this sim here. So flop, yeah, it's far from a range bet here. But I also said like small blind versus button, you can range bet for this size, big blind, not so far. It's not a range bet, I mean. And on river, as I said, it's very close. I mean, here it's like my sim is for the block size is 33. I went for 25 in game. So I guess if it's that close already, if you make it 25 here, I guess you can find some bets. So I think it's not a mistake really to block this hand on river. I think he folded, yeah. And the last hand, yeah, I mean, okay, this was a bit deeper. I didn't have the sim then. But yeah, in Solver, was a mix on turn. All right. I hoped you enjoyed this hand review in the end. Um, would be interested if you did, so can make a comment to let me know for future videos. But other than that, thanks for watching and see you in the next one.